And as the mural goes up, it has inspired local restaurants to paint themselves. I am here at the Kentucky Commonwealth Stadium, home of the Wildcats. Instead of catching Wildcats, we're catching Pokemon. People from all over the land have gathered here at the Commonwealth Stadium to gather Pokemon instead of catching Wildcats. Players and families here at the Mercool League All-Star event say this is an event that gets bigger and better each year. If you'd like to learn more about the Bluegrass Mercool League, visit our website, lex18.com. Covering the news in Lexington, I'm Melody Forey.
One woman is going the extra mile to make sure students not only get a good education, but get inspiration as well. Melody Forey has more on her story.
When I was growing up, I wanted to be a scientist, but I'd never seen anybody that looked like me as a scientist.
This is why UK grad Cagney Felton became founder and director of Nerd Squad. This is a nonprofit organization created in 2011.
Kids that look like me aren't getting exposed to the sciences. They aren't getting encouraged and influenced, and they aren't being shown that this is actually a possibility for their life.
And to Cagney, student lives are important. Not only did she choose to give back to elementary schools like Williams Wells Brown, but she is also trying to help high school students.
The high schoolers are actually the mentors, so I train them to do what I do, and then they go out and facilitate the activities as you see them doing here.
The William Wells Brown STEM lab teacher, Kimberly Sword, believes that their collaboration with Nerd Squad
has been amazing. They bring in a lot of things that we don't have here.
And that element is excitement. Here at Williams Wells Brown Elementary School, the Nerd Squad hosts their second annual science fair. It's events like this that both Cagney and Ms. Swartz hope to continue.
Melody joins us in the studio now. Melody, how is this year's fair different from last?
Well, not only was the project topic different, but instead of just working with one fourth grade class, she worked with several fourth grade classes.
So, as well as working with elementary and high schoolers, who else has Cagney worked with?
Cagney has also worked with organizations such as E7 Kids Cafe, Eastern University, and also the University of Kentucky.
With us for sports. How about that crazy rivalry game last night between UNC and Duke?
It was crazy. You watched it?
I did. Blue Bloods going at it like that, it's certainly always fun to watch.
It kind of gives Kentucky a good look.
It does. It's always good that when Duke wins, it helps us look good too this year.
I know. So there was also LSU that played last night as well. They did great. But last night's biggest game in college basketball, North Carolina versus Duke, the number 5 UNC Tar Heels lost by 1. This is important for Kentucky, who beat Duke 74-63 in November. The more Duke wins, the better Kentucky looks for the NAACP tournament. That wasn't the only game with implications for Kentucky last night. LSU is no longer in first place, and the Southeastern Conference losing to Alabama 76-69. If the Cats win tonight, they will stand alone in first place. Speaking of the Kentucky Wildcats, playing tonight, the Wildcats play against the Tennessee Volunteers. Last time the Cats played the Vols, it was quite upsetting for the Cats, being up by 21 and then losing by 7 points earlier this month. With a score of 84-77, Vols, the Cats' the sixth loss of the season. Coach Cal is preparing his team to focus on one game at a time.
We're going game to game. We're worried about Tennessee. I'm not worried about anything else after that. We're worried about what we're doing in this game and how we'll play. This team beat us last time. We had a nice lead. They came back and basically just ran us over.
Tonight's game begins at 7 p.m. For those at home watching from the couch, the game will view on ESPN. Who will come out on top? In the realm of basketball for women, after losing to Vandy 71-69, the number 16 Lady Wildcats will play number 14 Mississippi State tonight. Coach Mitchell says that they have a tough game ahead of them and that Mississippi State is an outstanding team. The game begins at 7 p.m. The Special Olympics of Kentucky offers 15 sports throughout the year. This season, the focus is basketball. After attending the Lexington Dragons practice, Stephen Riddle, co-coach of the Lexington Dragons basketball team of Special Olympics Kentucky, has volunteered for 3 years.
We're still looking for our first win, but we've been really close. We've gotten a lot better from the first game to
Riddle
the last
talks
game.
about the
We've
growth
improved every
of
year.
his team.
We have a lot of new players this season, so it's been, and we lost several players from the last season. So we've been trying to, get a bunch of different people used to playing with each other. So that's been the biggest difference.
With the Dragons being one. Stephen Riddle, co-coach of the Lexington. The Lexington Dragons play in Northern Kentucky tonight, and Saturday they will be in Georgetown for regionals. They are still looking for their first W of the season. Polar Plunge is Kentucky Special Olympics' biggest fundraiser. This year, there are 5 plunges scheduled throughout the state. Last year, nearly 2,000 people showed and raised more than $555,000. The Lexington Plunge will be held this Saturday, hitting the water again at Texas Roadhouse on Richmond Road. For information on how to get involved, visit SOKY.org.